Hi, and welcome to. Hey, wake up there, Jazz. Jasmine, you can't sleep through this one. Welcome to Cockitude. Cockatoos with attitude. And this one's all that jazz about Jasmine. We're going to talk about you
Jazz.
today, kid.
We talk
Jazzy,
about that jazz.
that
Jazzy Jazzbird.
Jazzy Jazzbird. Hi, Jasmine.
Ooh, look at her. Oh, she likes herself called Jasmine or Jazzy Jazzbird.
Jazzy Jazzbird. Pretty song, Jasmine.
Oh, it's filtering again. We cannot hear the song.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
We
on
need to teach
StreamYard.
AI that they are not allowed to filter Jazzy Jasmine songs or Kakadu songs and screams in general.
Yeah, it does. It automatically does background sounds, and they should. I'll have to make a note and send it to them. They seem to respond to those. Say, we need. Some of us need background sounds, like the sounds of the birds that we're showing. Right,
Mm.
right. Jazzy
Oh,
Jazzbird.
look, she has a special feather art today.
Oh yeah, she does. Are you being
Special
brave?
hairdo.
Is that your brave hairdo there again?
Mm.
Jasmine, Jazzy Jazzbird, Jasmine, Jazzy Jazzbird.
Beep, 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 beep. Now I'm just trying to make the sounds for the viewers so they can at least imagine what's going on. Right, Jasmine?
Hey, Jazz. A little technical note for everybody. I think Apple is trying to become part of Microsoft. The reason I say that is that their latest official release blows up their most expensive phones, um, causes them to crash. So we're taking our chances and running the iOS 26 beta today on here, and it seems to be working fine. So. And for those who aren't geeks, beta means it's not finished. But then again, lately, I don't think their products are finished anyway. So,
Mm. Yeah, someone needs to chew on Tim Cook's chair. I suppose it will be Pippa.
yep. Well, Pippa will probably guide him, fly him over to PepsiCo so he can become the new CEO. Pepsi. Oh,
So we have a
eh.
lot of chatters, so let's greet them. First of all, it's Lisa Banerjee. Then Falcon Suicide saying happy Monday, chatters, Mordstone and Hooligans. Calvin Thurston is here, Tiki Tiki, and Rosebud. So hello and welcome to all the chatters and all the other watchers and everybody who watches later.
Howdy, everybody. Yeah, we have the late crew. This is actually this is the early crew. The late crew, I had so much to do this morning. They're going to be out late. So the early crew is still in with us. This is Lorelei. Hi, Lorelei. And you guys know this guy. That's Mander. It's the Mander. Hey, Mander.
Wait, we have Mander?
We have Mander. This is the early crew is Mander and
Oh my gosh, we
Lorelei.
have Mander. Hi, Mander. He probably reminds that or remembers that yesterday he has a little babysit by me. Mander, was I babysitting you? over the phone, of course. But don't put me on loud and put the phone in front of Manda's cage, and then we chatted.
Yeah, they updated the watch too. This is an old watch, but loud environment, sound levels above 90 decibels. Yeah, it's a bird sanctuary. It is. It's a bird sanctuary. Hi, Jasmine. Come on, Jazz. This is all about jazz. Jasmine. The Jazzy Jazz Bird. Hey, Jazzy Jazz Bird.
I think she realized the episode is about her, so now she comes over.
Hi, Jazz. You be nice to her, Lorelai. I
Oh,
know
the
you don't like.
Lola, yeah, of course. She wants to be preened. That's the only reason for her to come over.
If I
But
pet
anyway,
her,
we're happy.
she if I pet her, she won't bug Lorelai too much. But stop petting, and she'll want to get preened by Lorelai. Well, calm down now. She's not ready. I don't think. Oh, she'll preen you. This won't last terribly long. Lorelai's not going to preen her forever because she doesn't preen back. She's like giving money to the government and expecting them to send it back to you. Yeah. I'm sorry. Did I compare you to the government? I didn't mean to. I apologize. You're being better about it than you usually are. A jazzy jazz bird. And we have Lucy back there. The Luce. Let me see if I can go to telephoto here. Watch it. Watch it. There we are. There's Lucy. The loose girl. And they actually have the switch too close to it. Too close to the turn camera off button. Hi there. We have Sugar, of course. This is the morning crew. And then later on, Lorelai leaves and Mander leaves because he doesn't want to be around any of the boys that'll hassle him. Right, Mander? Right, Mander? Oh, good boy. Hey, Jazz, you're being good today. What's the matter? You're not well or something? Lorelai's been trying to put her in her place, let her know that she will preen a little bit, but she's not going to be like the 1 hour preening buddy. Not going to happen. The day that I got her, here's the deal. At the time, I got a call from a rescue up in Los Angeles saying that they had a Moluccan cockatoo that was a mutilator, and they knew that I knew how to deal with mutilators because this one was going to die if she didn't stop cutting into her own chest. And I said, well, I don't actually have room, which at the time we didn't have room for another bird. The public place was quite a bit smaller, and there was no way we could have brought another bird in there. I mean, we were packed with cages. So um, I let them know that we did have a double yellow-headed Amazon who was there just to get trained, not to attack men. And so they made a bunch of calls, I guess, and they called me back and they said they had a rescue, and I talked to the one who ran that just rescues Amazons that would be glad to take him. So they brought Jasmine down and they traded her for Marley. The only thing they told me, I'm trying to get something out of them. Once they've already made a deal, you can't get anything out of people. Before that, you can get tons of lies, but that's about it, right? You rarely get the truth from anybody. So, but all they could say is, "Oh, don't let her sit on your shoulder. She bites." Well, you've seen her sit on my shoulder. So I just discounted that, and I looked at it like, "Oh, okay, well, no, really, seriously, I said, don't worry about it. She's not going to bite me." Um, the only real comment they had was at the time the cage I had, because we didn't get a cage for Marley. The cage I had was not. It was a big cage, but it wasn't that well built. You know, it was starting to fall apart. And it wasn't falling apart, but I'm saying didn't look all that great. But it was big enough for him, and it's what we had at the time because it was a when we took him, it was kind of an emergency deal because he had originally been a foster for us, and then the foster parent. This is another thing. If you're going to start fostering parrots and you have them sign a contract where they have to bring them back to you, you're going to end up with birds when you don't expect them. So, but we were told he would not let another another any kind of male put their hand in his cage. Within 2 weeks, he was out in the aviary. But yeah, at first, when I put my hand near him, he tried to bite me. And hey, Jazz, what are you all fired up now? What are you doing? Oh, it's Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Jazz.
Probably because you compared it to the government, so the chat is boiling. They don't like it.
Yeah.
Rude
Did I
remark. Rosebud says no more packages.
Well, I have a quick story on that, just as an aside. In California, if you have a vehicle that's a hybrid, which I had at the time, you're supposed to be able to get a vehicle pass so you can use these fast lanes, right? The special lanes for. So you had to send in $8 for the pass. Well, I sent that in, and then they come back and tell me, "Oh, well, we're done for the year. We don't have any more spaces open for the passes," and they never sent me my $8 back. So, Governor Newsom, I have some words for you, and it's not good morning. Um, Glad to be out of that state. That's the state of confusion over there. Right, Jazz? Yeah. He says, I'm preening. Don't mess with me. I'm preening.
She's too cute today. And people are happy that Mander is out. We haven't had Amanda in a long time, so
No,
that's really cool. Hi, Mander. It's not about you, but it's about a pink bird, so.
pink bird. Pink bird Mander. Mander, I would love to use my hand over there, but if I stop petting her, she'll probably irritate Lorelei. Hey, Mander. I can
He's
try,
so
but I
cute.
don't know what success I will have. Hi, boy. Hey, Mander. He just wants to get petted, don't you?
It's our
Yes,
tiny
I'll be
baby
right
Mander.
back. Jazz is being pretty good, but she's looking at me like, "What do you think you're doing? You can't stop. You can't stop petting me." She does the same thing to Lorelei. So I get her in the house, and she looks like a methamphetamine on a 7-day streak with no sleep. She's just bouncing all over the place. When I first brought her in, she was just all over, literally bouncing off the walls. And I finally restrained her enough to give her medication, and it didn't slow her down at all. And that's one thing people don't realize is that Haldol doesn't necessarily slow them down. If you've got a bird that's normally active and you give them Haldol, and that's the way they are, it's not going to change that. If you've got a bird that is inactive, but they're hyper bird, but they're like afraid and they're holding everything back. When you give them the Haldol, all of a sudden you see a big change in personality. Yeah, that's like somebody getting out of prison, right? It's like, freedom. Um, so she bounced off the cage for about 2 weeks, and I had to give her medication 3 times a day and watch her closely. She wasn't chewing at herself. The medication was stopping that, but she was hanging herself on the toys and getting wrapped up in things. And I ended up only having foot toys in there because any hanging toys she could have killed herself on. So I was getting about 4 hours of sleep for 2 weeks. And then it was like flipping a light switch. Just all of a sudden, she just calmed down. So I don't know what her life was like wherever she was, but I don't think it was the best life. And she wasn't used to getting attention because I would go and sit with her and give her some attention, try to hold her. She'd be bouncing all over, but I'd try to hold her and talk to her. Eventually, she must have just decided, this isn't so bad. Night, girl. Night, Jasmine. Mm. So then it was a matter of slowly getting her down. I got her twice a day on the medication, which is where it usually stays forever. If you've got a bird that's mutilating, I mean, feather destruction is a kind of mutilation, but if they're cutting their own skin, once you get them on the medicine, don't take them off. Because what'll happen is maybe they'll be okay for a week or two, and then all of a sudden they'll just tear themselves up. I've seen it, don't do it. So mutilators need to be on. So she's on a fair amount of it, not nowhere near what sugar is on, but what are you trying to do? Get Lorelei to preen you? She's done with the preening for the pink birds today, Mander. She's done with that. Maybe she'll do another one, maybe, but as soon as he made like he wanted her to preen her, she jumped away from him like, these pink birds are just too needy. Pet me, pet me. Preen me,
Needy
preen
pink
me.
birds. Yep.
You're gonna do it again, Lorelei? I don't know if that's a great idea. Yeah, she is. This is working and not getting paid for it.
Mm.
Oh, she's not doing it. She's just sticking her head there. What are you doing, Lorelei? Hey, don't get pushy. Don't get pushy. Basically telling her to back off, quit asking. So then it got to be integrating her with the flock, and that was fun because Jasmine has this kind of, well, it's not so bad today, but this attitude that if I want to get from point A to point B, but there's a bird in the middle, I'm going to go right through them. She was acting like the other birds weren't even there, weren't you? And then they get upset at you and you couldn't figure out why. She really didn't seem to understand why they were upset. All she was doing was shoving them off the rope to get where she wanted to go. But you could see a little of what it's like what she was like when I first got her. Because when she does her run around, where she goes around and runs around and flaps her wings, about 10 times worse than that. That's like that is the remnant of that behavior. Is that what you want, Jazz? It's difficult for her to blend in with the flock. She didn't exactly make friends by shoving them out of her way all the time. They'd see her coming, and it was like Wile E. Coyote seeing the train about to hit him. Yes, those cartoons I had when I was a kid that were actually good, not like the trash they have on television today. Road Runner, that's what you're like. Yeah. Maybe there she goes. Somewhere I think she's got stuck in a company called Acme. Don't you, Jazz? She's had
So
a
Jocelyn
friendship.
Priggle was joining us in the chat and just told us that cinnamon has a clear bill of health. Probably was
Cool.
at the vet last Monday. Weight is 100 grams. Cinnamon is a cockatiel.
Cool.
So welcome, Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn. Hi, Cinnamon. Yeah, these guys are complicated, and the more we learn about AGN, it's quite possible that most of the birds have the Bornavirus. The thing is, you can go and get a test for the Bornavirus. It doesn't shed all the time, so it may say the bird doesn't have it, but I think it's pretty much endemic in the flock. And it's something that they've learned to live with over thousands of years. So something happens that triggers it. It moves down the nerve to try to spread to another set of nerves and irritates the lining. And the next thing you know, you have a problem. She's not showing any signs of anything like that, though. And Lorelei's not showing any signs. And Mander isn't showing any signs of that. So Lorelei's showing signs of being sleepy. What you doing over there, Mander? Hmm. Hey, Mander. Hey, boy. What you doing? Well, this is going to be fun. I don't know what they're going to do, but I just had a delivery outside, so I'm going to give you guys a short, yeah, put a short video on here. Loop, and I'll be right back. Yeah. I thought I was going to do that, and then it just bounced and did
Shall
something
I do
else.
it?
back. Where'd
You're
everybody go?
back.
Jasmine.
So then let's greet Richie the cockatoo. Hello and welcome. Richie the cockatoo says, I don't understand the American accent at all. Yeah, that was basically my first impression as well when I started to watch Don a couple of years ago. I'm not sure. It's Richie, I think to remember, he said something, he's from the German speaking area. So, guten Abend. Gets a little great for them.
Well, some years ago, oh, not that long ago, but um, Oxford got in a lot of trouble. They're in England, of course. They got in a lot of trouble for saying that a language, it should be defined by the greatest number of people who speak it. And since what are you doing? And since more people speak English in the United States, that's actually standard English. I don't know if they retracted that, kind of like the Pluto thing. Pluto's not a planet. um, but there are more people who speak English here.
You always
Than,
have to put salt in my wound.
well, I could try to speak. Probably end up more with an Irish accent, but I never know what's going to come out. What you
No,
say
it's
there, Governor?
basically, I also started with the British English in school. And then we also had American English, but there's also a difference between what they speak up there in Boston and then what is spoken in the rest of the country.
Yeah, that's Boston. You got to say it right, Boston. Um,
Boston. Cannot do
Boston.
it.
Yeah, it's really hard to do. They have a funny way of talking. A friend of mine, who passed away, unfortunately, from uh, not a good form of cancer, but he went to he went to Kansas for a couple of months, and when he came back with a Kansas accent, and he never lost it. Lived in California all of his life except those 2 months, and then he had a Kansas accent. That's just bizarre, but it should take a wee bit longer than that to get a Kansas accent, but Lorelei. Yes, I know. His attitude. Whoops, I got my hand up, got the camera backwards. He's coming over and bumping me with his beak because there's nobody else around, so you should be petting me, preening my head and petting me. Jasmine's over there playing with toys. When I first got her, she wouldn't play with toys at all. She still isn't great about it. Still, it'll take her, doesn't matter if you rotate toys, it'll take her a week or two to destroy a toy. Or you give one to KK and it's gone in half an hour. Um, Sugar's good for a day or two on a toy. Manor doesn't really care for toys. He likes cardboard. He likes things that you can chew up. So he gets various forms of cardboard. I've got some cardboard rolls. He gets some of that. He gets cardboard off of boxes that don't have any tape. That's one thing. You can use the cardboard from boxes, and it's not so bad if they've got sticky tape on them, but if they have that fiber tape, and you can tell because when you run your finger across it, it'll be like snowball going across one of his frisbees. You can feel the ridges. That's glass. That's fiberglass. So they can't have that. So if you're in doubt, just cut that part off. But he likes cardboard. That's his thing. He's a big boy, but he's using cardboard. He will play with a few other things, but that's when the cardboard is gone. So he's eating the flat pieces of cardboard. Then he'll go for the ones that are off the roll. So they're 8-inch wide corrugated cardboard. He'll chew those up next. And then he'll go for the little cups that are little woven cups. He'll chew those up. And if there's no choice, he'll go for the balls that are made out of vines, the vine balls. Although lately he started liking loofahs, so he's been chewing up loofahs. It's strange. He can chew them no problem. Give a loofah to Snowball, and Snowball starts gagging, and I don't know what it is, what he does with them, but Snowball can't have a loofah. He likes them, but you can't let him have them. Doesn't bother this guy. Jasmine likes she likes the what they call a birdie bagel, which is basically it's compressed cardboard with a color ribbon on the outside. She likes those. And finger traps. They all like finger traps, but Mander, you can tell Mander does not like me at all.
Well, the chat likes that today Manda is back in the room. And we actually have the girls group.
Yep. Yeah, he doesn't feel comfortable around the boys at all.
Yeah, he always was an honorary girl. And
Mander.
a lot of people say they love the crest, the Moluccan crest, which is absolutely stunning. I think so too. What do we have else? We were also debating about accents. Rosebud says Scottish is hard for me. Oh, Lisa says that you look young in one of that pictures of the slideshow you had. What a handsome parrot daddy.
I like my family tends to look young, but I'm 71, so I'm not young. I might have been 50 in one of the pictures you're talking about, but
So Jocelyn's favorite judge passed away last week. It's not so cool.
her favorite what?
Judge, like in the court,
Oh, I don't
a
have any
judge
favorite
from
judge.
Rhode Island.
Oh, I don't have any favorite judges. I was in California, and all the judges there are former prosecutors. Um, and I had a friend who was he got he got pulled over because they said his brake lights weren't working. And then what they do in California when they do that, they they took his vehicle and they impounded it so they can get the money from the impound. Well, he got a mechanic, and I went with him, a mechanic to get it out of impound. And so I drove it out, and I hit the brakes, and the lights came on. And then he got in there, and he hit the brakes, and the lights came on. So obviously the police were lying. My friend was a little different. And anybody who knew Charlie will tell you he was different. You know, but anyway, in the courtroom, they started the first thing they started talking to him about was his politics. That had nothing to do with, a probable cause hearing. And I know enough about the law to know that that was silly. So they got up there and asked me if I had any of his political views, and I went off talking about 1776. And they said, "Well, you can step down." And I said, "That's fine." And I look at the judge and I go, "Shouldn't you be a kangaroo?" And I walked out. They told me I could leave. They didn't want me in there. So then I'm sitting next to the cop that pulled him over, and he's reading a camera magazine. And I said, "So you're a photographer?" He goes, "Oh, yeah." I said, "You better watch out. If the captain finds out that, he's going to have you." he's going to have you out there, taking pictures at crime scenes. And he goes, the second you start doing what you really love in your job, it's all over. And I was thinking, what a sad individual. So like I say, I don't have any particular love for judges. I'm surprised that judge didn't say something to me, but I mean, it's a probable cause hearing, and they're talking to the guy about his politics. It's dumb.
We also have Spirit Matter joining us, so welcome, Spirit Matter.
Hey, Spirit Matter.
And Falcon Zoo is Team Pluto as a planet.
I think they don't consider it a planet, but I mean, as far as astronomers
No,
go, but
that's why we are in the team.
no, what they do now, they call it a dwarf planet just to get people off their backs. But there are actually bigger objects out there than Pluto, and we're not calling those planets. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I understand the scientific declaration and think it's not the worst idea to rebrand it. But the other thing is that sometimes Pluto is actually closer to the sun than Neptune. So, and
yeah,
it's
but
Pluto. Everybody loves Pluto. I mean, this sweet little planet.
yeah, it's
So
a
far
frozen.
away that the sun just basically looks like a little bit extended star.
Yeah. Well, it was Neil deGrasse Tyson that was the first one to publicly declare it wasn't a planet.
Mm.
But there are so many other objects. But according to the original meaning by the Greeks, it would be a planet, because it meant wanderer. And obviously, if you could see it from Earth, which you can't, but if you could see it from Earth, it would definitely be wandering, like the rest of the wandering bodies out there. So by the Greek definition, it would still be a planet.
Mm.
But it's all Greek to me, right? Jasmine, you going to sleep now? You've had your
Oh,
excitement
she's
up there.
joining her auntie friend. The Moluccan aunties.
That's not going to get you this time. No.
Mm.
Oh, Mander, that's a little bit pushy, isn't it? He climbed up on my arm. Reverse the camera. Hold on, I'm trying to reverse the camera. Mander.
Yeah, I think we should show the people a little bit more Mander.
There's the
Mander,
Mander.
yeah. The
Hey,
people are happy to
Mander.
finally see you.
It's hard to pet you when you're standing on my hand. It is.
Mm-hmm. Mander, you like all the other boys were sitting in their cages and trying to incubate something.
Oh, Mander.
But it looks like that time is over now. Guys, you all want to be daddies. That's really cute, but
Mander.
mm,
My boy. I know you can't figure out why I can't pet you. If I grew another hand, I could.
oh, we have a question. Lisa is asking Don how many species of cockatoos? Is it more than 22?
I don't know. Um, I don't remember. It's been a while since I numbered them. Um, but I'll check on it and see. There are I can start to run through my head. There's the palm cockatoo. There's two different kinds of black cockatoo. There's a black, and then there's a black with a red tail.
Wikipedia
Yeah.
says 21.
21? Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're counting the one that they found in Indonesia.
Yeah, that's the thing. It might not be the most updated
No,
version.
I was at a meeting and this one guy said he didn't like artificial intelligence and then he picks up his phone and he asks Siri a question and it went to Wikipedia for the answer and I'm looking at him like, okay, stupid is as stupid does, right? I mean, you don't go to Wikipedia for valid information. You can get a general idea about something there, but it's probably 22 because I doubt that they're counting. I can't think of the name of that cockatoo. It doesn't come up in conversation terribly often. Where are you going? Where are you going, Mander? Oh, he says I had to go. Yeah,
Oh,
well, that explains why you ran away because you had to go to the bathroom. Yeah, which is a uh, strange thing to say because they don't use bathrooms. That boy, what a good boy.
um, so ChatGPT also says 21 recognized species of cockatoos. So doesn't say if the one you mentioned is in or out. The
Uh,
Nymphicus is also considered to be a cockatoo, which is the cockatiel. I think that was also
it's a
questioned by Lisa.
it is a cockatoo. Yeah.
The thing
You
is just when you see the crest and everything, like, and probably from the genetics, or so they have found out.
ask ChatGPT if it is counting the new one found in Indonesia. I wish I could think of the name. Begins with an A. That much I know.
With what letter does it start?
It starts with an A, and it was
A.
discovered by the Indonesian Parrot Project. It's the biggest of the sulfur crusteds. It's a big
Mhm.
boy. It's a big bird. Are you a big bird? He says, no, I'm a baby. I'm just a little baby bird. I'm just a little baby bird. I know it's on the Indonesian Parrot Project's website, but I don't know if it's gotten into the.
Now ChatGPT is bullshitting me, but probably because I asked it something in English.
Oh, probably.
So they just have no idea.
Um, Maybe you can ask it to list them by name and see if there's one on there that begins with an A. That's my thumb. You got to hold it there, dude. Let go. Let
I
go.
can go
Let go.
directly to the website of the Indonesian parrot
Hey,
project.
stop it. Let go. He's got my thumb. Does this sometimes. Let go. Let go. Let go. You nut. He just holds it. He doesn't hurt me, but he just holds onto it so tightly that you can't get your thumb out of his beak. You nut. You're a nut, aren't you? And he
They
knows when
have
I
a
say
lovely picture of a Moluccan cockatoo on their website. It looks so cute when they are actually sitting in the wild on
ah,
a tree.
it's the Alboti, Alboti. Is
Ah, a
the name?
body, that's true.
Yeah.
Now, when you say it, I remember.
No, the Alboti. Yeah. Just left my mind there for a minute, but it's the Alboti cockatoo. Big sulfur crested, bigger than the ones the sulfurs in Australia.
Oh yeah, there is
So
Project a Body. There they are. I think I post the link in the chat so you can look it up if you want to.
yeah, they're it's amazing the work that the Indonesian Parrot Project has done. Dr. Metz is no longer with us. He passed away, but yeah, the Indonesian Parrot Project is still going strong. So the people who started it have pretty much, they're either they've either moved on or physically passed away, or they're just old like I am and doing what they can from, home base here in the US. Yeah, it's quite the cockatoo. It's a big one. Bigger than a Moluccan, which is a silly name. I know that is part of their official name, but there's 1,500 islands in the Moluccan chain, and they're only on the Isle of Ceram, or Ceram. They should be called a Ceram cockatoo.
I think they are
Or,
also present on some smaller islands around Saram.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true too. Some of
That's
the
what I once researched when we had this evolution topic about cockatoos.
so this one, the Jazz, is known for doing the runaround where she runs around in circles. I put that box up there with toys to get it off the floor when I brought in Pippa's old cage, and now Jasmine sits up there and plays with the toys rather than running in circles. But she looks like she's thinking about running in circles, but there's no place to do that up there anymore. Probably should move the toy box and put it down there or something so that she can do her runaround. She likes to do that, don't you? You know I'm talking about you, Jasmine. So she's a good example of why you should never believe what someone tells you about birds. The other one is I've told the story before. Dr. Friedman went into she went into rescue, and they had birds that were dangerous on one side of the room in the cage in a long aviary, and then they had birds that were safe on the other side. But the woman who was telling her that got called away while she was telling it, and Friedman, Susan Friedman, got it wrong, and she went into the dangerous cage. And when the woman came back, Susan was holding like three birds. So when they tell you, that's one of the things I hate to do, but I have to warn people about Bob because he can nip if you get near his cage and that kind of thing. But as soon as you tell them that, then people are just going to be standoffish. And he's really a friendly bird. And he just wants attention. He nips occasionally. So he probably the best way to describe Bob is that he's friendly and good with people, and any biting or nipping you experience is just personally just a little bit of a pleasure on his part. He does that for his entertainment. Um, he does like to see the reaction of people if he nips them
Yeah,
inside a building, but
I'm not even sure if he's actually not really a biter, so he just
mm-mm.
knows how he has to look and act that people are afraid of him. So
Well, it's the only way
when
he could.
yeah, get their um, attraction or
Well,
attention.
the only way he could, well, what they would do at the animal hospital he was at is they would take him. Only time they took him out of his cage was when they were going to clean the cage. So then he would, lunge at people if they tried to put him back in it because he'd only been out for 5 or 10 minutes. Now he's going to go back in the cage, you know.
Mm.
And so he developed that reaction, that biting reaction, due to the way they were treating him. Now, before that, there was a time they said they did actually take him out and they let him run around up on the counter area, and he wasn't a problem except that he would steal people's Cheetos. He always find out where this one person hid their Cheetos, and then he would get in there and start eating them. So that seems
He's
like a
such a
silly.
smart boy.
Yeah, but it's a silly reason to not have him out there. They should have just had that person put their Cheetos in a safe box or something. But
Hmm.
they stopped taking him out because he was stealing someone's Cheetos. Now Cheetos aren't good for him
That's
because
ridiculous.
they got cheese in them. So you need to put
Mhm.
it in some kind of a lockbox. Although
Yep.
Bob might figure out what the combination is.
Yeah,
Um,
but the person just put it in the locker and go end of the story.
well, he's good at like looking for stuff and pretending he's not, like he's just playing. And then when you
Yeah.
turn your head, the next thing you know, he's broken something that you have.
Mm.
He killed a set of my earbuds one day, and I don't know how he got them out of my pocket. So I no longer bring a case in here. I'll put them in my ears, but I won't bring a case in here.
But they could
And
have a play area and a perch there where the people are, and then some person who does desk work so is sitting with him so and has an eye on him. But that would have worked.
yeah, it's never a good thing when a business has a parrot, to be honest. In this particular place, we actually have three birds from there. One, they screwed up her beak on and didn't give her the
Mhm.
medicine, which I had recommended. So she lost the feathers on her chest. They can't come back. And then Babaloo, they didn't give me any toys, so he started using poop as a toy. You can't break him of that either. I've tried and tried. He likes cinnamon sticks, so if you can get him cinnamon sticks, it's less likely he'll pick up poop. And then with Romeo, I don't know who did it, but they damaged his wing. I don't think it was that facility, but I wouldn't put it past him. They're gone anyway. They were bought out by that company, VCA, that goes around buying veterinary offices that are doing well, and then they bring in their corporate attitude. That's how we got Lucy. They said, "Oh, we don't want any birds here that we're not making money. Any animals here we're not making money on. Get rid of her." They may not have said those exact words, but that was the meaning. So I got a call. We have to move her out of here today, or I don't know what they're going to do. Okay, I'll take her. Lucy, we're talking about you. Liz, Lucy, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. His eyes open up. Lucy, got some splaining to do. But she's a pleasure to be around. She does sometimes get a little too enthusiastic. Once in a while, she'll go after Mander. That happened yesterday, and I had to put her up because she wouldn't listen to me. I kept telling her, "Cage, you're going to go to your cage." And she understands what cage means. Is if you say cage and she keeps doing what you tell her not to, she's going to go to her cage. But she was just determined to go after Mander, so she wasn't hurting him. She was just scaring him. He's too easy to scare. You're not going to get any kind of award for scaring somebody who's afraid of his own shadow. Have you seen your shadow today? Mhm. He's such a good bird. Even when he grabs a hold of my thumb and will let go, that's his grabbing my thumb is more of a mating response. They immobilize, a male will immobilize the female that's what he was doing with me, which is why you must get your hand out of their beak if you're in that position. Not so much that he's going to crunch down on it, he can take my finger off, but that's not the point. He's holding you because It's a mating behavior.
So Jamie just donated $17 to us and wishing everyone or everybody a happy Monday. So thank you very much for your donation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Every time I tap these now, that I am working on DaVinci Resolve to do another video, and I've not made a multicam video. I've got a two-angle video of giving injections to Cause and Cecil, and you could see how they hardly even notice it's happening. So part of that is looking confident when you do it. So you make sure you get your vet to show you how, and your vet to approve you doing anything like that before you do it, because you can make mistakes and you don't want to do that. So done right, though, they hardly even notice it's happening. So that'll be my first two-camera view.
Mm-hmm. Look at
Multicam.
you, sugar bird.
Are you the sugar bird?
She's a sugar bird.
You really are a sugar bird? You are?
She knows we are not knowing. Blind humans.
This is I'm just trying to get you to pet my beak, and you're
Mhm.
saying something silly. Well, time's up. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Amy, for moderating. And we will see you
Yeah,
on
thank you, Don,
Wednesday.
for showing the birds to us, especially the jazz bird and Amanda.
Jasper.
Everybody was so
And
happy that Amanda is back.
Lander,
Amanda.
he's happy with this group. This is his group here. So
Mm.
he knows that if anybody does get anybody, we're looking at the one over there who's sleeping. If anyone does get aggressive, that I will take them out while he's in here. So she's been good today. She doesn't want to be taken out of the room.
Mm.
She's generally a good girl.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good
Thank
time, and we hope to see you on Wednesday.
you. Yep.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.